This short presentation is a quick business comparison of Waterfall and Agile thinking, which is part of our series Business Leadership Driven Technology, sponsored by Business Cloud Services. This video is for the business leader wanting to understand the business value of Agile project management. Most people are familiar with traditional waterfall methodologies that are milestone-based, have huge upfront costs, and require a long wait before you see a return on your investment. Agile, on the other hand, may be less intuitive, but it's business solution-based, low risk, has a small upfront cost, and a faster return on investment. If you've worked on a traditional waterfall project, you know it lasts up to 6, sometimes 18 months. These projects start with an initial scope of business requirements. From these requirements, a project plan is created with milestones that are defined by scope and cost and time. In waterfall projects, the success of the next milestone is always dependent on the previous milestone. Each milestone is placed on a calendar. Success assumes that each milestone will match the estimated timeline. Theoretically, the cost, time, and scope of the project come together in a completed project. The reality of waterfall projects is that the reality seldom matches the planning. Everything starts out okay, and everyone is filled with excitement and expectation about this new project. Not long after the first milestone starts, though, the first problems occur. Tasks are taking longer than expected. Dependent tasks are delayed. So when milestone 2 starts, the team is a bit behind, but everyone is confident that they can catch up. By the start of milestone 3, the project is in more trouble. More deadlines are broken. To maintain the timeline, 2 things can happen. Scope is reduced, limiting or eliminating some tasks. Resource costs are increased as more people are hired to move onto the project. By milestone 4, the project is obviously in trouble. In response to that trouble, more and more scope is cut from the original project. By milestone 5, the scope of the project looks nothing like the original plan. Many key requirements have not been met, because in order to maintain the timeline, these key requirements were cut. What we find in waterfall projects is that to maintain the timeline, the project scope must be reduced. With scope reduction, project productivity is lost as project scope narrows. When the final project is completed, very few of the original requirements have been met. Agile strategic thinking is very different. Instead of tying the project to a timeline, project success is based on small pieces of scope. Instead of breaking the project into milestones, we create self-contained stories where each story is a business solution. Each story is a very small and strategic piece of scope with a simple set of small tasks. The deployment of a story should be between 2 and 6 weeks. Unlike a milestone, when completed, each story can be leveraged by employees without the next story being in place. The stories are designed to build on one another. As a new story is added, work on an earlier story may be tweaked to support each new added story. Risk is very low because the cost is low and the time from start to finish is very low. If the business environment changes, new stories can be created quickly that will take the project in a new direction. What we find with Agile projects: business capacity increases with each story's completion. As business capacity increases, company and employee productivity also increases with each new story. Costs are predictable, and often leaders of the organization will ask, "What else can you do for us?" When comparing the two systems, what we find: waterfall projects require a low cost for each milestone to start. income to the work will not start until the project is completed. When comparing the two systems, we find that waterfall projects require a cost for each milestone to start. Income for the work will not start until the project is completed 6 to 18 months later. While with Agile, there is a lower initial upfront cost. We also find that with each new story, company income continues increasing. Because of this, with Agile we see a quicker return on upfront costs for each story deployed. We've presented this short introduction comparing the business value of Waterfall versus Agile project management methodologies. If you've gotten something out of this, we hope you'll look for more of our presentations on leadership-driven technology. At Business Cloud Services, we are a business consulting company specializing in technology. If you are a successful business leader out to change the world, we have a solution for you. Many business leaders find themselves lost deep in the unexplored forest of technology, and they need a guide. The IT team is made up of competent experts, but sometimes we wonder if they aren't a little lost themselves. We work with business and technical teams to help them find their way through the forest of technology. If you'd like to learn more about Agile or what we can do, contact us at www.businesscloudservices.us.